Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be continuing our technical analysis on this Bitcoin breakout that started around 48 hours ago or so, because if you guys will remember back to yesterday's video, which was recorded right here, I was talking about how this little tiny measly Bitcoin breakout that had occurred at the time was not very large and was actually potentially bearish for Bitcoin because of how small it was. And in that video, that was yesterday's video, I talked about how I wanted to give it another 24 hours or so to see how Bitcoin developed. I was slightly bullish on Bitcoin, but only slightly. In that video, I was talking maybe 55% bullish on Bitcoin, and lo and behold, we gave it another 24 hours, and Bitcoin has gone ahead and rallied. Now, that's what we're talking about right there. Bitcoin, instead of rallying about 1%, Bitcoin has now rallied closer to 5%. If we come up here and check, Bitcoin's rallied about 4.3%. So we see a pretty nice little rally here on Bitcoin. If we zoom out to the 4-hourly, you'll get some perspective here. It's not a small rally. It is definitely something to take into account, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some technical analysis on it because I want to show you a lot of the different technical indicators, because many, and I do mean many, technical indicators and the oscillators have turned bullish overnight, and this is a very good thing for Bitcoin. I want to talk about where Bitcoin might be going from here, because at the moment it looks like crisis averted for Bitcoin with the whole idea of Bitcoin coming down here to this uptrend of support. We'll talk about all of that and more in today's video. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and smashing that notification bell, guys. It does help out the channel if you do it, and I would be appreciative if you did it. But with a little bit more further ado, I do want to mention one more thing before we get into the video, and that is that the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy sale is ramping up. Now, I do want to mention that someone in the Discord server, I will protect his name because I can't pronounce his name, because you know how people are on the internet. Someone in the Discord server last night while I was asleep messaged in the general chat that they were having trouble using the CT2A March coupon code. And if any, I want to put here at the beginning of the video, if any of you guys are having problems with that coupon code does run out sometime around the time this video goes live. So if you're having problems with the coupon code, whether or not the sale has already ended, email me, and if you were trying to buy the course with the coupon code before or after the sale ended, I will make sure that you're able to get the course with the 20% off coupon code, with the 20% off discount. So let me know if you're having problems with that. I will make sure that's resolved for you as quickly as I can. Now, I am very busy today, but I will try and help you if you guys email me. So just go ahead and shoot me an email if that happens. But anyway, guys, it is also only a 20% off coupon code. So if you guys were thinking about joining CT2A anyway, it is literally just well, it's about $30 off the course price. So if you're still interested in the course, it's not like you can't buy it now because the coupon code is expiring. We've had dozens of people join on this promotion, and I think they're all very much enjoying it. I'm seeing a lot of comments in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. There's a comment section under all of these, and I'm seeing a lot of people in my email box, my email inbox, and in the Discord server being very pleased with CT2A. So if you guys are one of those people, let us know in the comment section down below. Anyway, guys, with that out of the way, that should be one of the last times I talk about CT2A for a little while here, because we are running that sale to the end here. So let's go ahead and get on with the video. Bitcoin is currently trading around $4,000, and I do have CoinMarketCap up today because I want to look at that juicy number right there, $10 billion of volume. But right now, Bitcoin is currently trading just a little bit over $4,000 on Coinbase. Now, the reason I say on Coinbase like that is because Coinbase typically is the lower priced exchange of the two major ones, Coinbase and Bitfinex. Those are two of the really major Bitcoin exchanges that have a US dollar pairing. Now, of course, Bitfinex is using US dollar tether. That's why that price is a little bit different. But Bitcoin in general, the average price for Bitcoin right now is around $4,060, which means that Bitcoin has run up to and broken resistance at $4,000. This breakout is great and all, but it wouldn't really have meant a whole lot if Bitcoin ran up here to $4,000 and fell over. Now, there is a chance that that falls over anyway, because Bitcoin is only trading $4 above it on Coinbase. I want you guys to realize that sometimes you can go slightly beyond a level of support or resistance and then come back to tail the tail, and that does happen sometimes. If we look back over here to June of 2018, we will see that Bitcoin fell below this level of support down here at $6,000 twice. Bitcoin fell down to $5,775, and then again down to $5,780. Bitcoin can do that, and it can still reverse. So watch out for that. Just because Bitcoin has gotten past $4,000 on every exchange, even if only by a couple of dollars, that doesn't necessarily mean we're out of the woods yet as far as it relates to $4,000. Need to look no further than this wick going up here. By the way, a couple people have been commenting about how I say wixes instead of wicks. I do know that the plural of wick is wicks and not wixes. I say wixes because I think it's really funny the way it sounds. It's not me being ignorant to the way you say it. I say it simply because I think it's funny. So this wix up here is indicative of the fact that Bitcoin tried to get even more further, tried to get further still through $4,000 right here and wasn't able to. So we're kind of riding levels of resistance right up here. We're sitting right above it, but there is a chance that we still reject from $4,000. Now, not trying to be a perma bear because that's pretty much all the bearishness that we're going to be talking about in today's video, because this is a rather good scenario for Bitcoin. One of the first things I want to talk about is actually Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market's volume. Today, Bitcoin has around 10.3 billion with a B dollars worth of volume. That is really, really good for Bitcoin. We have not seen that kind of volume in quite some time, and Bitcoin's volume over the last 6 months has been on a general uptrend. Even looking here for the last 4 or 5 years of price history on Bitcoin, you can see down here on this chart right here, Bitcoin's volume has been gradually picking back up, and it becomes a lot more apparent when we zoom in here and we look at 2018 and 2019, and we realize that Bitcoin's volume had been in a little slump here for the majority of the bear market. We were seeing $5 billion, $3 billion, $4 billion, sometimes even a $2 billion day on Bitcoin's volume. Sometimes you would see that, and Bitcoin's volume was very, very low. But lately, ever since Bitcoin broke below $6,000, surprisingly enough, actually, the fundamentals and the technicals have been getting better. Volatility has been increasing. Volume has been rising. The fundamentals have always continued their march forward of progress and improvement. The technicals are actually looking a lot better now than they did before we broke below $6,000, partially because we managed to just break a lot. It's like when you have an earthquake and then you don't have another one for 20 years because you let all that tension go. That's essentially what happened when we broke below $6,000. And ever since then, one of the technicals, that being the volume, has continued to improve. Look at the tooltip here when I mouse over this. The volume has been gradually moving to the upside. Instead of seeing $3 and $4 billion days, we're seeing $5 and $6 billion days. And now, instead of seeing $5 and $6 billion days, we're seeing $6, $7, $8 billion days. Until recently, when we're gradually but surely seeing $10 billion days on Bitcoin consistently. That's a lot of volume for Bitcoin, considering where we've been, considering the fact that we're trading at half the price that we were trading at 8 months ago, and Bitcoin was getting half the volume back then, which that means proportionally we're getting 4 times the volume. If we come in here to the daily chart, I'm sure we will see that. Look right here, volume jumped a lot after we broke below $6,000. Now, of course, volume candlesticks were much higher back over here at the end of 2017, but you expect that. That was the end of the biggest bull market in the history of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's volume is very high right now, and that's a very good technical, because as I've talked about in previous videos, when you see volume increase, that generally means that volatility is going to increase because there are more people putting trades. There's more people that can pick a side, be it the bulls or the bears side, and you generally see that people are able to make more money, because as I've talked about in previous videos as well, making money in the cryptocurrency market or in any market at all is not necessarily about the direction of the market. It's about the speed and the volatility of said market. So the fact that Bitcoin is far more volatile now than it was back over here coming into the end of 2019 is actually a very good thing for Bitcoin, even if we're trading at prices below $6,000. Also, you have to remember that we are looking at proportional moves as well. This up here was a 17% move, but if we were to look at a similar move down here, it's more like a 30% move. So these moves might look about the same size, but considering we're moving at much lower price levels, they're actually much larger moves percentage-wise. Keep that in mind as well. Now, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the bullish things that have happened to Bitcoin over the last couple of days, and then we'll go ahead and move into scenarios for Bitcoin and talk about where Bitcoin might move moving from here. I want to look at the oscillators first and go ahead and look at them because they are, I want to look at the oscillators and look at them. Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at them and then we're going to look at them again. I want to look at the oscillators and then look at them because many of them have turned very bullish. In fact, all 9 of them that I'm going to show you are looking rather bullish, that being 3 on the hourly, 3 on the 4 hourly, and 3 on the daily. If we look at the the hourly MACD, it is rather bullish. Now, of course, it is closing in on itself a little bit. That's because we're kind of, we're forming a flag up here. I'll talk about that in a second. But we do see that Bitcoin's MACD has been moving up very substantially. We're looking very bullish. Now, like I said, Bitcoin is curving back in on itself. This might be a problem in a day or two. We'll talk about that in a second, but that is looking very bullish at the moment. RSI is sitting up here in overbought territory, but the fact that RSI moved up that quickly is a bullish momentum indicator. Now, it being up here means that we could see some kind of reversal in the next couple of days, so watch out for that, but it's simply moving into overbought territory. That fact is bullish. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that stochastic RSI, it has come down here and corrected a little bit down towards 65, giving it more room to run to the upside should it need that room, which is a very good thing indeed. Part of that happened because of this little slump in Bitcoin over the last 6 hours or so. Moving on out to the 4-hourly chart, we see very similar stuff, except it's even more bullish because we don't see that little slump appearing out here on the 4-hourly chart. We see that Bitcoin's MACD on the 4-hourly is ridiculously bullish. We haven't seen Bitcoin's MACD this bullish in about a week or so. We saw Bitcoin's MACD this bullish back over here, and it looks like we may actually be beating that record by seeing Bitcoin go even higher. If we draw a horizontal line, then we're seeing that if MACD continues, by the time this video goes live, it's possible that MACD, the histogram, will be even higher, which means these two lines will be even further apart and thus even more bullish than we saw even back over here on the 6th of March when Bitcoin was rallying and was looking very strong. There's definitely a potential for that. So guys, the technicals are looking very good. Same thing as before. Just once more, we see that Bitcoin's RSI is moving to the upside and sitting here around 80. That is a bullish momentum indicator. Watch out for that coming down, of course. Same thing with stochastic RSI, except it doesn't have as much room to breathe. It's already run up here to around 100. That one could be bad for Bitcoin, but I don't think that one is going to override all these other technical indicators. This is the one I really want to point out, and that is that the daily MACD has turned bullish. Now, of course, guys, I find the hourly and the 4-hourly MACD important, but the daily MACD is ridiculously important. This is probably one of the most used time frames because it's a perfect interval sitting between the places that long-term traders and short-term traders look at. Both of these traders are looking at them, and thus many of the signals you get on the daily chart tend to be disproportionately powerful for the range that this indicator is sitting in. It's going to be a lot more powerful than the 4-hourly. It's going to be a lot more powerful than the 2 daily or the 3 daily indicators on the daily chart, that is. Similar thing with the RSIs before. It's moving to the upside. That's bullish momentum. We're seeing a similar thing with the stochastic RSI. Bullish momentum moving to the upside. Not too overbought just yet. We do have more room to breathe. I do like seeing all of those things. So with all that in mind, and the fact that many of the technicals are looking rather bullish, where does that leave Bitcoin, and where is Bitcoin going to be moving here over the next couple of days? What do we see Bitcoin doing? Well, as I talked about in yesterday's video, in that video, I talked about how I was concerned about this little breakout because at the time, this was on this candlestick right here, I was concerned about how Bitcoin had only had a tiny little breakout here and that I was worried about Bitcoin falling over because of that. I was worried about the bears showing their strength and Bitcoin falling over. Now, I don't have to worry about that too much anymore because the bulls have obviously shown their strength now. This is about a 4.5% move. That's not a major move, but that is definitely a breakout. That definitely is significant. Now, with that in mind, there is still a potential that Bitcoin falls over here, flags out, and Bart Simpson's down. I do not want to discount that because in times previous that we've discounted that, it's come back to bite us in the butt because we've seen that happen before, guys. We've seen Bitcoin have a very nice solid breakout, a nice solid rally. We've seen Bitcoin break out 5 or 6% right here. Bitcoin breaks out, trades sideways, and then crashes right back down. Trades sideways, breaks out, trades sideways, crashes right back down. It has happened before and it can happen again. So let me show you how we want to watch out for that. In most scenarios where Bitcoin or other markets will break out and then break back down, what they'll do is they're not just going to break out and then break right back down. They're going to break out and they're going to trade sideways for 12 to 36 hours or so, and then they're going to break back down. So if we see Bitcoin come up here and trade sideways for the next 12, 16, 20, 24 hours or so, if we see Bitcoin do that, for example, then we might start getting concerned about Bitcoin falling over. But remember, if Bitcoin trades sideways here, then that also constitutes a flag sometimes. So watch out for that also. You have to be careful in these scenarios because one thing can look like the other, and neither of those scenarios that look like that may play out. So if Bitcoin starts trading sideways here, especially in my experience, if Bitcoin starts trading down like this, that is a warning sign. If Bitcoin starts trading down like this and makes an electron logo right here, if Bitcoin does that, then we can expect a bearish dump. But if Bitcoin trades sideways or even slightly to the upside like this, then it's probably going to mean that Bitcoin is going to continue this rally. That's at least what I've seen from my experience in looking at dozens of these breakouts as they've happened. Guys, I do technical analysis literally every single day, so I know these markets like the back of my hand. I just found a freckle on the back of my hand, so maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I'm joking, of course. I knew that freckle was there. Anyway, if you see Bitcoin trading to the upside, it's probably going to be bullish, so watch out for that. If Bitcoin trades to the downside, then we're probably going to see a bearish breakout, so watch out for that. There is a potential that Bitcoin barts over here. Excuse my phone, I do apologize. There is always that potential. But if I were to bet on it, and of course, I am because I trade in these markets, guys, I think Bitcoin is going to move to the upside here. Bitcoin has just had a bullish breakout. We saw that the bears tried to take control in this territory right here, moving on to right here. We saw that the bears were trying to push Bitcoin down. We tried to push I'm not a bear, so they tried to push Bitcoin down here. And apparently it's failed because Bitcoin broke bearish. And then after it broke bearish, it didn't just immediately fall over, giving the bears the initiative back. It broke out, and then it broke out kind of again. If we look here on the hourly chart, Bitcoin broke out once. It broke out once. moved to the upside, and then it broke out again. So that kind of reconfirms the bullish strength. We broke out, and instead of continuing down right here, Bitcoin started moving to the upside again. So that does mean that the initiative is in the favor of the bulls, and the bulls do seem to be stronger than the bears right now. So there is a decent chance that Bitcoin keeps rallying here, and that Bitcoin keeps moving to the upside. That's what I think is going to happen, in fact. And I think the next major level of resistance that we're going to look at is going to be this downtrend of resistance that Bitcoin has been under for a while. We've seen this downtrend of resistance be generally formed by several different tops here, one of them being the recent top right over here, another one right here, and then some trading over there as the price action kind of started this. I think that's going to be our next major level of resistance. We might not be up there today. We might trade sideways. Of course, we see flags form when Bitcoin rallies a lot. That is very possible and rather probable, to be totally honest. But I do think that Bitcoin's going to come up here to around $4,100 or so and test that as a level of resistance. Now, guys, I'm not going to dive too much into price targets for this rally because I think we have time to breathe, and I think we have time to analyze the market, let it develop a little bit more, have the moving averages move a little bit more, and see what's going to happen over the next day. So we will discuss those in more detail in a coming video if Bitcoin does continue to move bullish. But anyway, guys, this is a very good sign for Bitcoin because, as I've talked about in the previous videos, we don't want to see Bitcoin come down here and test this uptrend of support, because if it does, there's a very good chance it's going to break that 200 moving average, and if we break that out on the weekly chart, that would be catastrophic for Bitcoin. I don't care how strong the bulls look. If we come down there and break that and start moving to the downside, you could very easily see the kind of blood fall that we saw before $6,000. And while Bitcoin's technicals and fundamentals have actually improved since Bitcoin fell below $6,000, it's not a kind of thing that we need to happen right now, because it typically extends a bear market when you see a major level of support be broken like that. It's not the kind of thing you want to happen, especially not in a scenario like this when Bitcoin is already looking rather bullish. Already looking rather bullish, and it already looks like we're about to wrap up this bear market and be moving into a bull market in the next 6 months or so, guys. So I apologize for my phone going off a second time, but that is okay because we're going to wrap the video up here, guys. I do hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, tell me in the comment section down below. Let's see if we can get a conversation going down there. And I want to, before we wrap the video up also, guys, I want to genuinely thank everyone from the bottom of my heart who watches the YouTube channel, who subscribes to the channel, who's bought the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, who's in the Discord server. There's a link for that in the description down below, and who does support the work I do. It really does mean a lot when you guys come out and you give nice comments and you drop a like on the video, and when you guys support it, because there has been a lot of times where I thought about, should I just stop doing YouTube? Should I just quit? And every time I thought about doing that, I remember to all the hundreds of you guys, the thousands of you guys in the comment section down below telling me how much these videos mean to you, how much value you get out of them. So that really does mean a lot to me, guys. I do want to thank you, like I said, from the bottom of my heart. I do really appreciate it. We're coming up on 20,000 subscribers. We'll probably be hitting that in April, maybe early May. I do think we'll be hitting it in April, though. The channel's growth has been moving up exponentially. Check the Social Blade for the Crypto Jeb YouTube channel. It's doing very well right now. And that's all because of you guys. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching and supporting the channel as always, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.